it was an end-to-end football. It was 1-2 as Tottenham snatched up a win at Leeds. Now, Leeds were home in this very match, and they came very, very prepared. They brought in the heat towards Tottenham. At one point in time, it was as though Leeds were going to win this one. Thomas Frank has actually done a lot of changes to this team, but one challenge I do have is that Tottenham are very, very inconsistent. Their matches, you would expect them to win and they will throw that away. But in this match, I will commend the team, I'll commend Thomas Frank, and I'll commend Kudus. Right? Kudus was, for me, he was actually the star of today's show. He was the star, scoring for himself and making some very fine dribbles. Now, first off, Tel was the one that gave them the goal ahead. Now, Tel started ahead of Richarlison. So for those of you that included Richarlison in your fantasy team, well, it's a bad news for you. Well, they eventually won this one. Tel scored before halftime, and when we thought Tottenham had won this first half, Okafor, that player that was signed from AC Milan, gave the equalizer for Leeds, and Leeds came calling. They almost took the lead, but were denied severally. Now, when they came back in the second half, it was none other than Kudus, that guy who had been causing havoc in the opposition 18-yard box. Kudus gave them the lead in the second half, and that was it. But this match was end-to-end football. It was amazing. I love the fact that Thomas Frank is trying new things, bringing in Tels, Udogie, and Xavi Simons to occupy the front row, keeping out Richarlison. But I feel at the start of the match, I said it and I was like, no, he would have played Richarlison ahead of Tels. Right? Richarlison has been good for him from the start. But you can't depend on just one player when you keep others in the bench. You have to rotate your squad. With Tottenham playing European football and the cup matches, you don't need to overwork your players. So I think at one point in time I had to understand from the perspective where he's coming from. But it was actually a fine win. 2-1, we call this a narrow win because anything can happen. 2-1, it ended. And kudos to Tottenham. By the way, Tottenham's player's name is Kudus. Yeah. This is Sports Digest, and if you know they follow us, they don't. Stay tuned. Thanks, guys.